Hey, how's it going today, guys? Dude named Rich here, and this is the first part of this video lesson series. And I don't know if you remember, but I was telling you about the website BuzzSumo. Now they do have a free version, they do have a paid version. I hate to say this, but I think you can just get away with just using the free version. The paid version is probably about $900 a year, something like that. I can't even begin to kind of tell you about all the features because some of that stuff I don't even understand what exactly you're paying for. But they do have a pretty good free version, and it should work for what you're trying to do without spending $900. Of course, I don't want to hate on them. So if you find more value out of it, then I'm telling you how to use it. Then by all means, it's your money. Do what you want. But I'm not an affiliate, and I make nothing from BuzzSumo. But this is a very helpful website. Um, in order to really run a good fan page business, you want to become an expert in whatever field or niche that you choose. Now, don't let the word expert scare you. Okay? Becoming an expert simply means that you know more than everybody else. It's simple as that. Now, when it comes down to one given subject, the easiest way to become an expert on it is find the top 10 books on the subject matter. Okay, the top 10 books. Read those top 10 books. Audible is really helpful at doing that. If you're busy all day, you don't have time to sit back and read all day. Audible really helps to knock out a lot of books. Okay, if you get 10 of the best sellers, you will have the best information on that niche possible, which means you will have endless content, and that's why it's so important to pick something that you enjoy. Now, BuzzSumo, what you can come over here and do in the meantime, and while you're getting your expert status up to par, you can come over here and you can get things that are resonating and sharing with your audience. Now, this is not just still content or anything like that. But let's say, for instance, I've already typed in the word dog because I'm a slow typer, so I want to make these videos as short as possible. We're going to go hit go. Now, there's all kind of filters on here that you can use to filter out options and stuff like that. And they'll have some videos on here exactly how to use it. But right here, as you can see, this is a blog post by Elizabeth. It says some people left their dogs tied up to die in the flood, and it will break your heart. This story got 1.2 million shares or likes on Facebook. So this story is very, very, very popular. Okay, so if you have a fan page about dogs, you can simply say, hey, this was a hard, gut-wrenching story. I'm going to leave the link in the description, or the link's going to be at the top, or the link's going to be in the comments. Sorry, not the description, but in the comments. And I'm going to talk about this story about these people who had to leave their dogs to die. All right. Obviously, this is resonating really good on Facebook right now. And the light blue here is Twitter. The semi-light blue here is LinkedIn. And the red is Pinterest. Okay. So it kind of shows you, if you have different social media platforms, which one it's resonating with the most. Okay. Now, 10 of the happiest dog memes ever that will make you smile from ear to ear. 611,000 shares on Facebook. Okay. 18,000 shares on LinkedIn. 233 shares on Twitter and 9 shares on Pinterest. So this website will allow you to find out what stories or what content is resonating with what platforms. So since we're talking about Facebook here, this is a good thing. This is a great way, and you can actually share these. You can actually share these posts right from here. I don't recommend just sharing blog articles from other people because Facebook doesn't show them to as many people, as well as it appears as this little box that no one's going to click on in the first place. So no one really cares about it. You can do it, but I don't recommend doing it all the time. Like all of your content comes simply from here, where you just go and you just share the link, share links, share links, share links. You need to share your own content. And if you don't have your own content, this is the way to get it. All right. You go on here, you find a story, and you talk about your thoughts on that story. Okay, now if you're not like a big video person, you don't want to make videos, what I'm using right now is Camtasia. So you can easily make a Camtasia video and say, hey, listen, I was reading this article and I know a lot of people don't like to read articles, so I'm going to read it out loud, right? And then you go right on your laptop or your desktop and you read the article out loud. Make sure you give the credit to the person, put their information in the comments, and no harm, no foul. All right. So this is the best way to do this. So what you want to do is I would go over to Amazon and I would look for the top 10 books in your field of study, whatever it is that you really are passionate about doing. Look for those books. Look for them on Audible. I'll get you, there's a screen software that you can download to your phone that actually reads the text on your phone. So if you can't find it on Audible, you can probably find it on Kindle. And because Kindle has a lot of text books that you need to read, but there is an app that you can go to that will read what's on your screen for you. Very helpful app. I use it all the time. I'll get the name of it and I'll post it. I'll give it to you somewhere. Okay, but this is the first step, guys. Number one, identify what it is that you want to do, your niche. After identifying your niche, you want to get at least 10 books. I'm serious, guys. At least 10 books. At least 10 books that are top selling books in this area. All right. Now, if you read 10 top 10 books in your field of study, do you think that you will have a better chance at making this work for you and positioning yourself as an expert? Of course you will. Now, this is not required for certain things if you're into like exotic cars or just something that you already know about and you're already an expert about it. You know, if you're some kind of cook and you want to do a cooking page or something like that, and you don't need, but this is just helpful insight for people who don't know exactly what they want to do, or you don't have a specialty or a skill or something interesting that someone actually cares about, then this is the way to go. This is the way to go. Find a niche, read the top 10 books that are in that area. I suggest reading one book at a time, obviously. And I suggest only buying one book at a time. And the reason that I say that, unless you know you just love this niche, you may not like it. You may get into it and say, oh, God, I just can't. I can't. You know what I mean? So I don't want anybody wasting their money. The point here is to save money and make money. All right. So you can come to this website. This gives you great insight as to what's sharing and ideas for your own content. All right. Just because Elizabeth writes a story about something doesn't mean you can't write a story about that same topic. All right. It's not her news. You know what I mean? So if you see a story that's resonating really well and you want to go and do some research on that story and say, wow, you know, all these adopted dogs showed up in Texas or something like that, or people left their dogs on a leash while there was a flood, and oh God, this is heartbreaking, and you want to do your own research and write your own story about it, by all means, this is what these platforms are for. Get ideas for your content that you know that is resonating. That is probably one of the biggest tips that I can give you guys, is to be able to foresee how well content is actually doing on these different platforms. I mean, look at how all this stuff is doing on these platforms. All right. So this is the end of video 1. Find your niche, top 10 books. Come to BuzzSumo to find out what's resonating and start posting content to your page. All right. Dude named Rich.